Hi there. A very good morning and a good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to this live session with me. And today, I want to talk to you exclusively about one stock. So, the stock that I want to talk to you about is KILPEST India. Everyone is asking me about KILPEST India, and they are saying as to what will happen to the stock going forward, as to what needs to be done currently, and in regard to whether one should add more or exit the stock, and how can one exit the stock on lower circuits. So a lot of things I'm going to discuss. uh, there is heavy rain out here, and there is problem with the internet. I hope the streaming go through fine. I hope you're hearing me clearly, and that's why the visuals are not that clear. uh, so hello Surendra, hi Jagdeep, hi Harsha, hi Vignesh, and thanks a lot for the Patreon membership and the support that you have given me on Patreon and on YouTube. I'm really thankful to all of you. A big gratitude to all of you. I'm going to talk about in detail as to what needs to be done in Kilpest and where will it be, say 3-4 years down the line, and why the selling is taking place and where will the selling stop. Everything I'm going to discuss here. I hope other people join in, and those who watch this video later on uh, can also write their opinion as to what they think of my viewpoint on Kilpest. If I get time, I'll definitely talk about Tanla solutions. But if I do not talk about Tanla solutions right now, I'll definitely talk about it on Sunday morning in the live session. Otherwise, I'll talk about it today if I get time. So one more thing, that live sessions have continued on Thursdays and Sundays India time and will continue. So I give live sessions on Thursday and Sunday and answer all your queries in a live session. So I'll answer your queries as well after I discuss about Tanla. Sorry, Kilpest. So kindly subscribe to my channel so that you get all the information here, and kindly subscribe to my Patreon network, because there I put up things, I put up podcast at least 2 to 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a week, and that gives you detailed information as to what I think about the market, what I think about uh, specific stocks, companies. And there I put up information on stocks and companies well before what I put up here on YouTube, at least 4 to 7 days before. So join the Patreon network. $10 membership will help you uh, my garner a lot of things. So you'll have access to my watch list, my portfolio, a lot of podcasts, and ask me questions on a daily basis. And I'm there online virtually every hour to answer your queries. One line answers will be given, no portfolio advice will be given there. So uh, that's my opinion. I'm sorry. So here is the link for that Patreon membership. Kindly visit it and join it. All right. So let's begin with Kilpest. And so let's think as to what has happened. So let's give you a snapshot as to what has happened from 2018 December till now and what lies ahead. So Kilpest India makes testing kits and tests for various illnesses, whether it is COVID or it is about malaria, chikungunya, etc., the cholera, etc. Many of the main illnesses that has taken place globally, Kelpesta has gone ahead with its subsidiary S3B Black Bio to manufacture test kits. Not only that, normal test kits for simple illnesses, or you can say very common illnesses, is also prepared by them. Now, I'm going to talk about what are the positives in the companies and why I like the company at current levels. And I'm going to talk about why the stock has fallen. So, these two things I'm going to talk about. So, it had a capacity of around 5,000 tests a day uh, earlier. It rammed it up to 10,000 tests a day just before they had their approval for you can say, this COVID-19 kit. And now they have ramped it up. So they ramped that up to 50,000 tests a day by May, June, because there was a lot of demand that was coming in. And then eventually now they have ramped it up to 1 lakh tests a day. That doesn't mean that they had to employ a lot of people, or they had to put up a lot of fixed cost, and or the cost has escalated. And this is what I like about the company, that the cost has not gone up sharply, although revenues have. And what that has meant is that you look at the June numbers, and they had a profit of um, tremendous profit. I think a profit of around 27, 28 crores. I think 27 crores, 50% net profit margin, what they were working with. And I go with EPS for small cap companies. I go with EPS. So they had an EPS of 70% of what their you can say sales were. So sales were around 50 crores. EPS was around 35 crores. Uh, that's a 70% of your sales. Even if the test numbers, or the kits numbers, or the prices go down sharply, what they have mentioned in their report, or in their update on the first of this month, is that they are not going to compromise on margins. So they are not going to sell kits such as being done by Chinese or Korean companies at 150, 170 rupees a test. They are going to sell it for around 320. That's what they are doing, 320, 330. Probably, in my opinion, they could just go down and may end up selling the kits at around even something like 250 at worst. So if you take that into consideration, they are taking care of the margins. The margins are being taken care of by the company, and that is what investors love, because investors do not want them to sell, say, plethora of kits, say 40 lakh or 50 lakh kits, and at a price of 150 rupees, and they don't have any, probably they have 10% profit on it. That would not suffice. 75 crores, even if they do 10% net profit, that's 7.5 crores. So it's better they sell less tests or less kits at very high prices. What that entails is that for long term investors, that they'll always take care of margins. Mr. Dhirendra Kumar is a very shrewd businessman, and I've been tracking this company for the last, and with my friend I've been tracking this for the last 2 to 2.5 years, and they have never compromised on margins, even when they were just a 40, 50 crore market cap company. Today they are a 300 crore market cap company, that it went up to 400 crores at the peak. So in my opinion, that test will continue, that's one thing, and they are not fretting on margins. That is a very, very good thing. Second point about this company is they are into carcinogenic testing as well, and they are going to go into that big time in the next 1 year, 1.5 years, and that has even higher margins, as far as I know. And so when that goes on ground, and they export those kind of test kits, they are going to get a lot of profitability, and bottom line will swell up a lot. So they have a lot of products in the pipeline. It is just that they had to stop doing it because of the pandemic, and they wanted to just go for this kit. But now that they are realizing that the competition is huge, I'm sure that Kilpest would end up doing more of their normal business going forward, and their normal business grows at 25 to 30% on the sales basis continuously, and 35 to 40% on the profitability business. So that is what has gone up. So they got the approval. They were doing, first they did selling. They were selling the test for around 1100 rupees. Then they started selling at 550, 600. Then it was 420. Now it is 320. It may go down to 250, but I don't think, because of what they have said in their press release, and that's why they are not exporting also, because they are saying that the cost benefit is not quite in their favor. They love to have a greater margin, so they would prefer to have less sales with greater profitability, rather than very huge number of sales with less profitability, and which I believe is a prudent thing to do. So taking that into consideration, at 500 rupees, if you just take out everything, take out this COVID thing altogether, at 10 rupees EPS of FY20, it was trading at 50 times. And if I consider that they continue to sell tests at 250 rupees, let's say after September, say from October onwards, they end up selling at 250 rupees, something like around 2 lakh kits a month. So they sell 6 lakh kits a quarter at around 250 rupees. That's 15 crore of business. Now, the interesting part is their other business would scale up. So 15 crores a quarter comes from this, which calculates up to 60 crores of business from this test. And you add, say they did 28, 29 crores in FY20, and they have a profitability growth of around 25 to 30% on their normal sales business. So their normal sales business in FY21 should be doing something like 36, 37 crores. Or let's say FY22, let's say they don't increase it in FY20 and their sales are same as 30 crores, but in FY22 they do 37, 38 crores. In their normal sales of other products that they do apart from COVID, they have an EPS of around 35% of what they do. So suppose they do around 37 crores, and you take 35% of it, it comes around 13 rupees EPS. So their 13 rupees EPS, 13 and a half rupees EPS is from their normal sales business. And if I take in FY22, and remember that testing will continue unless everybody gets immune to it, and there is no issue with it. If you think that testing will not continue and testing will not take place 2 years down the line, then just go back and look at, you can say, AIDS or any other illness that you think about, whether it is typhoid or malaria, etc. Yes, there are medicines for it, but people test for it and take medicines. So even if you have a vaccination done for anything, there will be testing for it, because this will not eradicate completely. You need to understand that 100% eradication of an illness is not, first of all, is not a surety. And we have seen that with AIDS in 1980 and what has gone on. We have seen that even with polio. Yes, it is virtually eradicated here in India, but globally it is not. So I'm going coming to the export part also later on. So what I am trying to tell you is that this business of selling testing kits for COVID-19 will continue, albeit at a very small level. So he might do 1.8 lakh kits at 350 rupees, 320 rupees, 300 rupees. He might do 2 lakh kits at 250 rupees a quarter, I'm saying, not monthly. So monthly he would do around 60 to 70,000 tests selling a month. That tells that is just about what, 2,000 tests a day, and he has a capacity of 1 lakh tests a day. So do you think that he will do less than 2-3% of its capacity for COVID testing in 2022? I don't think so. I think he's going to do more than that. But the prices would come down. So let's say 250 rupees is what he's selling at. Let's say he does 2 lakh kits a quarter. Let's say he does 6 lakh kits a year for this. And at 250 rupees, that gives him 15 crores. He does another business of around 37 crores in FY22 of the other businesses that he does. That comes out to be 52 crores. Now, the margins in this is 60% because he's making it for 150 rupees. And I won't, means I would back him to do it for less than 150 rupees by the time FY22 comes around. And I think cost and efficiency is part of Kilpest's name or 3B Black Bio's name. So there's definitely going to be a profitability of around 60 to 70% on whatever he does on a EBITDA margin. And if you reduce it to the level of net profit and EPS, then I'm sure 35% of that should fall in, 35 to 40%. So if you consider that he does 6 lakh kits at one at 250 rupees, that's 15 crores, and he does say an EPS on it of 40%, that is around what, 6 rupees. So around 6 rupees EPS would be there from only this business. And he does around 38 crores of other businesses in which the EPS would be around 10-12 rupees. So around 18 to 20 rupees would be the EPS for FY22. So you need to understand that uh, easily the business could scale up a lot. And what I'm trying to tell you is that 15 crores is a month, 60 crores is for the year. On 60 crores, if you take 40% as the EPS, that's 24 rupees. It's as simple as that. So 60 crore business, how does I come to know it? And a lot of numbers I'm talking about. So he does 15 crores. If he does 15 crores of business in FY22, every quarter for this COVID testing. And he's currently doing 15 crores a month. I'm saying 15 crores a quarter. He'll do 60 crore sales for this COVID, and he will continue. Kilpest will continue to do 40 crores of other sales, around 40 to 45 crores of other sales. So 105 crores of sales in FY22. It is trading at only 300 crores, less than three times sales. That's one thing. Second is the EPS. So EPS would be around about 35% of what the sales would be. So EPS would be 37, 38 rupees uh, at least for FY22. And now you just scale that up for FY23 and 24. So by FY24, I'm sure he would be doing something like 150 or 140 crores of sales, at least 145 to 150 crores of sales. And you take 35% of that as EPS. So the EPS would be around 50 rupees. So I won't be surprised. Let's say if not 50, 52, he would be doing something like 45 rupees of EPS for FY24. I won't be surprised in 3 to 3.5 years' time. The stock would trade at, after doing an EPS of 45 rupees, somewhere close to 2000 to 2600, between 2000 to 2600. Now, why I am saying this? Because at 45 rupees, your if I'm saying 2000, then it will be trading at 50 times or something like that. Why I'm saying 45 to 50 times, I'll tell you that also. By December or by June next year, Kilpest for sure is going to go for a demerger in which 3B Black Bio will be listed separately, and that he has talked about. That is what the management has talked about. So if we believe the management, and the management is pretty transparent, in 1 year's time, in the next 6 months to a year, there'll be a separate listing of 3B Black Bio, and that business itself does 70% EBITDA margin, 60 to 70% EBITDA margin on their normal business. So it is easily possible for the stock to trade between 40 to 50 times. So even if I take 40 times with an EPS of 50 rupees, it is 2000 rupees. So in my opinion, FY24, the stock should trade between 2000 to 2500. Currently the stock is at around 350 rupees, may go to 300 rupees. Clearly it is a 6 to 7 bagger from here, uh, going to probably in 4 years time, less than 4 years time. I won't even say 4 years, probably 3.5 years time. So this is my calculation on it. I think testing will continue until you can say probably everything has normalized. I again give you examples of many illnesses that are prevalent here, many life threatening illnesses for which testing continues, many cancer illnesses for which testing happens. Then there is AIDS, then there are other malaria, etc. People do test for it. I mean, jaundice, malaria, and this and that. Uh, Even if they are not life threatening illnesses, there are tests going on, so test will continue, even with the vaccination, because you cannot vaccine say whatever number of people who are ill, or you have to vaccinate everyone. So it's like vaccinating 6 billion people. You cannot do that in a day. So even if vaccine, so let's come to the vaccine part and the export part. Even if the vaccine comes about in February, uh, it will take at least 2 to 3 years for everyone to get vaccinated. There'll be price issues, there'll be issues of supply, there'll be issues of many things. So let's take it that on 1st of February 2021, people get the vaccination. First people, first 10,000, 1 lakh people get it. Uh, I won't be surprised that it will be at least till end of 2024 or start of 2025, till which people get the whole vaccination done completely, and that has to be successful. So there are two parts to it. There is no guarantee that after a year that same vaccine might just fail and there will be a lot of repercussions or side effects of it. Second thing is, many people might not go for the vaccination at all, thinking that there will be a lot of side effect. So this is the vaccine part, that people are saying, okay, vaccine will come out, everything will be normal, this and that. There is a strong chance that many people might get the case, God forbidden, again, and this may erupt globally again, because everything will open up by March, April. So there is a lot of ifs and buts, there is a lot of things that are going on. Now the point is about export. So he's not exporting at the moment because he's saying that margins are not great. Korean and Chinese test kits are selling a lot at 150, 160 rupees. If he gets opportunity to sell test kits abroad at a relatively similar prices that he's selling here in India, he'll do it. So if he sells abroad at 300 rupees and he gets the orders from abroad, he's going to sell big time, because South America is just getting into this COVID thing, where India has just gone past, where India was in May. There are issues in Africa that are now cropping up. There is repercussions, or there is again a second, a third wave that is happening in Eastern Asia and also in parts of Europe. So there are issues that are taking place globally, and that is why I'm saying that next 3 years at least this testing part will continue, and I'm pretty sure he can do around 60 to 65,000 tests a month, which is doing around 4 lakh tests, so around 2 lakh tests a quarter. He can easily do at 250 rupees. I have reduced the price also by a considerable margin from 330 to 250. That's a 25% reduction in prices. Even then, you would see an EPS of 45 to 50 rupees in 3 years time with the stock, and that will be consistent EPS. The problem that has happened with the stock is that uh, the market has not re-rated the stock the way it should have been re-rated, and that is why the stock did not reach 2000 right now, and it will reach 2000 most probably by end of 2023. So that's 3 years time. That is my assessment. At 350 rupees, it is a good 5 6 bagger from here. uh, so now the point comes is when to buy, and those who want to exit, how will they exit? If I can tell you that if it comes to 250, 260 rupees, I'll be very much tempted to buy again. uh, I'm tempted even at these prices, but I'm saying I'm waiting for the stock to trade normally. So first thing is to wait for the stock to trade normally, and then you go ahead and buy the stock. Second is, let it go up. So let it go down, go up, trade normally, stabilize, and then you buy it. 2200, 2300 will not come immediately. It will take time. So you will get ample opportunity to buy more if you have bought at higher prices. So those who have bought at 480, 500 and was worrying and asking me on Patreon as well as here, uh, the simple point here is, if you have a good 3 4 year time frame, at least a 4 year time frame, say July 2024 or June 2024, need not worry. In my opinion, it's a good buying opportunity. Wait for demerger, wait for shares to be listed as 3B Black Bio, and you will see the magic. The stock will trade at 40 50 times as a diagnostic company, and the numbers would kick in. Because after this COVID year, the numbers would stabilize as to whatever businesses they would be doing, and this testing of the test kits that he's selling for the current pandemic, he will also be able to tell as to what is the normal rate that he'll be selling it, I'm pretty confident he would be selling 65 to 70,000 kits. So if you want to buy below 300, good levels to get into. Current levels are also good to accumulate. I don't know when the reversal will happen, but if it goes to 250 to 60, I'll be very tempted to buy. Another small smart thing you can do is that by the end of the month you should buy, because October he will the management would come out and he'll talk about whatever sales has happened in September. There is very low expectation now after what he has delivered in August. So people are not expecting big things. I won't be surprised if he announces something, whatever. I mean, anything, some tie up in UK or US, or start of export or demerger or something. And see, if circuits continue in September, throughout September, there will be 19, 20 circuits, 18 circuits more. The stock would trade at 250 rupees. So around 250, bad news at 250 and bad news at 500 is a completely different matter. I won't be surprised whatever update he comes up with on the 1st of October at 250, 250 rupees, if the stock is trading at, the stock would go up. So good range around 300, from 300 330. One can definitely accumulate. I'm very bullish on the company, the management, and I won't be surprised if it goes to 2000 2500 in the next 3 to 4 years. All right, so this was about Kilpist, and I will talk about Tanla next time around, probably Sunday for sure. I'll talk about Tanla in detail as to what I think. Uh, you can ask me questions right now, and you can use the super chat feature to help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions in detail. I'll answer the questions in detail. So shoot your questions now. I'm ready to answer them. uh, uh, okay. From bearish to bullish on in 14 days, SK Singh is asking. I think he's asking about Kilpest. Why I'm doing it is, Mr. Singh, is because of the price. So at 500, I won't say that you go ahead and buy. But if it comes to 250, 260, with the kind of numbers that it's going to produce in FY23 and 24, uh, I am ready to hold for 2 to 3 years, and that is why I'm bullish right now. And I was bearish at 500, and you saw what happened between 500 520, how the selling happened. Now, selling cannot perennially continue in any stock. This may continue till 250, maybe 200, but I think 180 200 is a strong support, and that is why I believe that 250 is something I'll definitely buy. Tanla I'll talk about on Sunday. At the current levels, I won't be tempted to buy Tanla. Future retail, complete avoid. Even I talked it to my viewers on something like on Patreon, and I talked about buying Reliance rather than the future group stocks, because that is the company that is really buying everything, and they have the cash. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Saminathan. Good work. Thank you. I don't have credit card, so not able to join Patreon. My first contribution here. Thanks a lot. Kindly, I'm sorry for that, but that is the only way to get into Patreon. I don't want to start doing it here on YouTube and dilute the members there on Patreon. Do the same thing here. There could be different issues. I was thinking of doing it, but I'll continue with Patreon. Kindly arrange a credit card, or if you really want to join one, and join me on Patreon. It gives me a better opportunity. So let me clarify why I am on Patreon and not on YouTube or anywhere else at the moment. Whatever things I want to provide writing articles, I want to provide podcasts, which is easier for me to do in 10 15 minutes. I put up a podcast there immediately, and I want to talk to specific customers who are very serious about investment, and that is why the $10 a month fee and not two three $5. So if you are someone like that, I'm sure you'll arrange something for joining that. And that is why I want lesser people there. I don't want thousands of people. I'm not like going after money that people are thinking that I keep asking for doing it. Why I'm saying that you do it there, it would be easier for you to communicate to me. because I'm always online on Patreon and probably answer every hour or so. And people on Patreon who are on YouTube also watching this live can also vouch for that, and please write that. So my opinion on this is that you join Patreon for your own benefit, and if you don't agree to it, you can exit it at any point of time. Thanks a lot, Harsha, for your contribution. Kilpes, my average is 152. Would hold patiently. Absolutely. I think one should add. I think if you get opportunity at 240, 250, this is not a stock that is going to 10 rupees or 50 or 70 again. I am a firm believer that from October onwards things can reverse, especially if we have 15, 20 more lower circuits of 2%. Things can very well reverse very quickly. I don't think we'll get opportunity at 250, but if we do get, uh, definitely a buy at those prices. So yes, hold 3, 4 years, you'll get the benefit of the company. The company is pretty good. Okay. Okay, Naman is saying that your Patreon is not nice. Well, tell me the reason and I'll try to rectify that. Uh, Patreon made you make losses interesting. I don't know which stocks you end up buying, and you sold it at losses. Probably, if I would have told about some stock being a multi-bagger, I give time frames also. So you should have held on maybe. Is Coal India a buy? I felt it is cheap when you look at. It is cheap, yes, but there is a lot of things that go on. Uh, Maurkar, thanks you for your contribution. A lot of things that happens with government, and that is why I am not banging a lot about IRCTC. Yes, IRCTC over 2 years time frame is good, 1 or 2 years, but it is not a 8, 10, 15 year bet simply because it is a government company. And this is the same thing with Coal India, very good company, everything is nice, but it will not go up because it is government owned, and large investors stay away from such companies. That is the only reason. Thank you. Thanks for your contribution. Mahanagar Gas. Okay, I'll talk about Mahanagar Gas in detail on Sunday if I get time from Tanla. Otherwise, on Wednesday. One thing I want to say that below 900, closer to 800 levels, big buy on Mahanagar Gas. What they have said is that for normalization, it's going to take 2 to 3 quarters, and that is what the impatient market, did not like, because markets say that in December it should normalize, everything should normalize, and that is where the problem lies. So the market is impatient. You don't be impatient. You buy at below 900, below 800, and do well. Thank you, TT, for your contribution. You have been a very nice subscriber of mine, and thank you for all your contribution. Hope the best for you. Thank you, Vinod, for your contribution. Very good company, actually, Glasscoat. It has just run up a lot, and so the correction is taking place, similar to what is happening in many companies. If you are holding it, hold on to it. Whenever reversal happen and the stock starts to move up, go ahead and buy the stock even more if you have bought. I think it is a very good company to hold for 4 to 5 years. But again, one thing I want to make clear here: I am not someone who makes the prices go up or down. That's one thing. And second thing is I am similar to what you people are. It's just that I do a bit of more research. So to tell you on an overall basis, avoid small caps. That would be my opinion. Small caps have run up a lot over the last 4 or 5 months. If you can avoid it, avoid them. Buy the DMarts and Reliance of the world, buy the Bata, Whirlpool, uh, the larger companies, titans of the world, and you would be fine 2 3 years down the line. This surge that has taken place in small and mid cap could reverse anytime. So be very careful. Companies are good, but valuations are expensive in most of the companies. Britannia, very good company. Any decline to 3500, 3600, buy it even at current market price, no problem. It See, in all these very good managed high quality growth companies, the only thing is you need to hold for longer period of time. If you have 3 4 years with Britannia, if you have 3 4 years with say a Nestle, HUL, DMart, Reliance, Bata, Whirlpool, anything, you will do well over that 3 4 year period. But if you have a 6 month period with high quality companies and you want to do trading, I believe it is trading. If you're doing it for 6 months or even a year in a high quality company, anything can happen. One quarter could go bad and the stock will be down 20%. Large investors would be buying it, you would be selling it, you would be presenting the stock to the larger investor. You have a look at what happened with DMart at 1950. Nobody was talking about it. Today it is 2300. People are talking about Reliance doing everything in retail, so DMart will not survive. That is, in my opinion, absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry to say that, because the person who is backing DMart is one of the shrewdest businessmen of India, and I am pretty sure DMart would do exceptionally well going forward. Raymond, I'm going to come up with a video on Raymond pretty soon. I would say it is an avoid for the time being. Whatever has to happen with respect to the corporate changes has happened. People have made money. Now the stock will either be in range or go down. So avoid Raymond, in my opinion. Mindtree is a good stock, decent stock to buy on declines. Rajesh Export is an avoid for me. Yeah. A good stock for short term. DMart looks good at 2300, maybe stop loss 2200 or 2150. Look for 2600 going forward, new highs. Look for good quality large caps to even trade. I think they'll do continuously well. So that's my opinion. Both Century Ply and Excite are good, but look at other companies. So if you want to buy Excite, thinking that autos will do well, so batteries will sell and all that, buy auto companies. If you're bullish on autos, look at a Maruti from 4000 to 7100. How did it go? It will continue to go up. So kindly understand that yes, you may get less returns, but you will get positive returns. That's the best part. You will not have a problem holding it when you're making a good amount of money. uh Stephen, thank you, thanks a lot. Great help on Patreon and quick response. Thank you, thanks a lot, Priyas. And I'll try to do that. I love doing it. I'm also thinking of doing live stream on Patreon for Patreon members. I'll try to arrange that in a month's time. We'll do that also. That will be another Philip with no extra cost. I'll do it for $10 members, like that. I'll see. Uh, on Patreon, what I have done is that yes, there is a $10 membership, but I'll keep on increasing the benefits there from time and again. I don't know when, I can't promise as to when. But I'll not increase the price. I'll try not increasing the price from $10. So that's one thing there also. Avoid banks, Federal Bank, any bank, complete avoid bank. Nifty has gone up a lot. This is a great opportunity to exit banks. uh, I don't mince word. You can play back this video a year, 2 year later, and you'll see 2 years down the line where most of the banks would be. Yes, two, three, four banks would be up for sure. Those large banks which are pretty good will continue to do well. But other banks will suffer. I mean, this effect of this pandemic will be seen in FY22 in most of the companies and banks. And I won't be surprised if, again, the stock market would fall big time, but good quality companies will gain more market share and will continue to go up. So I miss the stock Asian Paints. So get that into list also. Asian Paints is one of another company that you buy on major declines. And these are the large cap companies that you should look at. Avoid Sorana Solar for the time being. Okay, see, Happiest Minds IPO or any IPO that is coming up. There is an IPO that is coming up of Policy Bazaar also next year. I have to research and only then tell you. I can't tell at this point of time. Frontier Springs is a good quality small cap, although I would say avoid at the moment because I feel that small caps may fall a bit. But the company per se, Frontier Springs, is pretty good, very, very good. Okay. Again, IDFC first, avoid for me. Uh, Loris Labs wait for some sort of a decline. So both in Galaxy surfactants or these chemical companies, etc. There's Sumitomo Chemicals, which is good. So a lot of people ask about it. The company is good, but the valuations is expensive. So all these companies wait for slight decline, wait for a week of fall, and it will happen. So we had a 1 day fall, and everybody started to buy. There will be a fall happening anytime, and that is where you need to grab these companies. Neogen is a good company, hold it. Aarti Surfactants is decent, expensive, I would say, but the company is good. All right. Methanol avoid. I think metal stocks, alloy stocks, and all that. I would avoid. I don't know when to exit. Entering is okay, but exiting is difficult. Flex Foods avoid. It was much better a company probably 3 4 years back. Now I would say things have changed. Debt and other issues. So complete avoid. I don't have an opinion on Vikas Propent. Uh, uh, Ashok Leyland may go to 120 130 in 2 3 years time, but in 3 years time. So I'll put up a dedicated videos on autos. I'll talk about autos, just remind me of it, because I feel the auto sector is going to revive by middle of next year. So yes, it can go to 120 130 over a year and a half time. I've never been bullish on Ashok Leyland, but now I am. Not from a 1 year time frame, but 2 to 3 year time frame. But Kilpest in 3 to 4 years for sure will be something like, I'm pretty confident it would be 3 4x from here. Okay. Avoid Engineers India. That's my opinion. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So my discussion most was on Kilpest, and I'll discuss and answer more queries on Sunday. Discuss about Tanla and probably other stocks as well on Sunday. So be live then on the same time. Thank you. Thank you for your time.